Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we're still discussing our president's performance in the last 8 years. I know that Tribune, the Nigerian Tribune, actually went out to talk to some Nigerian youths to find out their thoughts, and many came up with different issues. Some had said that first, he messed up the civil service by removing the mandatory 8 years retirement for directors. Secondly, his administration was filled with lies and fake promises. Another said that acute inflation, disobedience to court orders, lack of respect for rule of law, loans without justification, high corruption, frequent strikes by labor, and the unions and all that. There were lots of people just saying that he also accused the Nigerian youth of being lazy. So these are some of the things young people are remembering. Now, as much as others will say he did work in infrastructure, others will say, well, what we remember, because they will tell you that it's not what you do, it's how you make people feel that they remember. When you finally rest, it's not what you do, it's how you make them feel. Let me take this call from Abuja, and I'll come to you. Good morning, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, my pleasure. You read out a lot on the performance of the president. And as a matter of fact, from my own perspective, the Buhari 8 years administration is a missed opportunity for both himself and Nigerians as a whole. The first coming of Buhari, the dear-born Buhari regime, tried to place Nigeria on a pedestal that was on a straight path. But that administration was cut short by coup d'etat. And of course, when we now enter the democratic era, and from 2003, President Buhari tried as much as possible, I think up to four, 5 times, to get to presidency. He could not get it until eventually, in 2015, he got it. Most Nigerians said, wow, this is the opportunity to reposition Nigeria again. And for himself, because of the way he was labeled during his first coming that his regime was draconian, he tried to tone down the way he would do things. And that is what now amounts to what we now see as some sort of laissez-faire. For him, he has missed that opportunity to prove himself. He's ending up as, how do I put it?
Oh, Mr. Izogbe.
Has he gone now?
I think we lost him. All right, so I was saying before his call came on that they will tell you that when you're growing older, it's not about the houses you build, the cars you buy, the stuff you put in place. It's about how many lives you touched, how many people remember that, this person did this to me. So maybe also part of the missed priority, the opportunities, is that he focused so much on the big, heavy things, the heavy liftings, which is also good. But Nigerians didn't feel that sense of security. They didn't feel hope. They didn't feel together. They didn't feel united. They didn't feel we are part of this body. They didn't feel love. They didn't have that feeling from this administration. Maybe that's why Nigerians feel he didn't do anything, because the taste of this country is so divided instead of us coming together. Although we can actually point at Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, we can point at Second Niger Bridge. Those are heavy liftings that he did, which are good. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think that's the case, or do you disagree?
You're right about, the perception. So there's a perception index, no matter what it is that you did, tangible things that you did, also how do people feel? So first, that especially in the second leg of the administration, we've had global issues. Yeah. We had COVID, we have economic crisis, global economic crisis. So even though we're complaining here of inflation, we know that this is happening all across, the world. We're hearing them in Europe and everywhere. So that was also like an added disadvantage. But and I feel that governments, administrations do this deliberately. Because when you focus on the small things, when you're leaving, how do you go out and say, but I made the people feel happier, but I made the people feel more comfortable, people would still use the fact that you did not do these tangible, big
Yes, you
things.
have to please everybody.
So I see the administrations do this deliberately so that they're able to say, no matter what you say, at least 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you're going past this road, you remember it's Buhari that built this road. You remember it's, so it's good. But I would say what it will mean for the incoming administration is that now some things have been put in place. I hope it means continuation. Continuation in the sense that the things have now been put in place. So you're not focusing too much on those. You're now working on the things that are important, tangible. Now, we know that there's a global crisis, but we also are unable to make policies that address the issues in such a way that is beneficial to Nigerians. Especially with our monetary policies, fiscal policies, we were struggling. It's like we didn't have the right people there. We didn't understand. Today you make a policy, Nigerians will scream. There was a lot of flip-flopping. It's important that this next administration would learn that we're not looking for people to just be like political, awardees. We're looking for technocrats, people who know the job, people who have shown through records that they have done the job before and are willing to come and work for Nigeria, and that's what.
Let me take Hassan. Good morning, Hassan. Are you there?
Good morning.
You're live.
Everybody.
Good.
The Buhari administration is a mixture of the three: the good, the bad, and the ugly. Despite the fact that I'm one of his fans, that will not steal it away from me saying the uncomfortable truth. Morayo, you mentioned that Buhari is concerned by judiciary this and that. That is not correct. Whenever Buhari wanted something to do, anything of his interest, he will get it done, he will do his way to do it. Let me give you one simple example. When he wanted to remove the former CGN, he came out, he did it, and replaced him. So forget about that. You see, the issue is very clear here. In terms of infrastructure, he tried.
What's wrong with the lines? Thank you very much, Hassan. I'm sorry that you got disconnected. Some of his legacies. Let's look at some of his legacies. I mean, the Nigeria Air just arrived today. Whoop, whoop. We've been complaining for years. We don't have an airline. This morning, it has finally landed. The man is doing everything the last few days. What Buhari has done between Monday and Friday?
It's a typical Nigeria. Last minute work. We all like to do that.
Last minute. Even myself, what I want to wear to inauguration.
It's last minute.
So, we're all last minute people. But anyway, he has finally, that's a legacy. Second Niger Bridge is a legacy. Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, legacy. These are things he has done. Even constitutional review. Remember, he helped us to make some changes, which we know that it's going to be beneficial with this new. So there's some good things he did.
Yes, of course. Nobody's saying.
Nobody's saying that.
But I like the way Miriam couched it. Legacy projects, big things that we can look and say, this is what. But I think the new administration should take a leaf from what has happened to this administration now by balancing out some of these things.
Yeah.
So we had a problem with some of the policies that this administration that is going to be put in place. It was not properly thought out. A lot of factors were not considered. You will see stakeholders not really involved. And so these policies come. Let's take, for instance, when the border was closed. Of course, it was a good policy so that we can be self-sufficient, we can grow our own products, we can grow our rice and stop importing things that are harmful to us. Very perfect. But we didn't put in place the fact that a lot of our farmers are still struggling to have that rice. So there was scarcity of our own products, and then you block importation. And so the products we had in our market were now very expensive, the local products, very expensive for consumers to buy, and people were still going behind to smuggle. It was a very difficult time for Nigerians. That's one policy.
Let me pause you for a second. Let me come take Hassan, I think. Oh, Joke. Good morning, Joke. You're live from Iju.
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Good.
Yeah, thank you. For me, concerning security and economy, I will call President Buhari for. But for we retirees, he has done well.
What?
He doesn't owe us.
Oh,
He
retirees.
pays us in time. So I give kudos to him for that. Well done, thank you.
Thank you. And everybody's speaking according to their.
I'm quite surprised because I thought, I thought that once the phone lines open today, the vitriol we're going to hear. But people are quite gracious and,
Objective people.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking of the
But he
callers.
sorted out his constituency, the retirees. Yeah, so he said, wait, where are all the retired people? Yeah, please go and sort them out. They're his constituency.
I'm going to join you soon, so let me make sure I've done that.
Okay, let me let you finish your point.
Yes.
You were talking about.
So then we know how the cashless policy hit us. There were also other policies, especially for business people who over the years were closing down businesses because they couldn't deal. Policies were flip-flopping here and there. The new administration needs to pay attention to all of this. Then please, we don't want you to come in now because this administration that is going out took a very long time, even to the end of the administration, blaming the PDP.
Yes, now.
For every small thing is these people.
16
this
years
is what
of
they left. This is
16
what they
years
did.
of decadence.
I'm telling
16
you,
years
they
of
kept
corruption.
blaming instead of sitting down and okay, this is the problem we have in our hands. And every president will inherit problems. Right. The incoming president now will inherit a lot of problems on his table. Please, you should not give us an excuse that this is what Buhari left for him. You should sit and with his people and think of solutions. And also, okay, take your call.
No, I have to go on a break.
Oh,
Okay.
When I come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, I'm told our guest is here, so we have to wrap up on this. But
Okay,
in a nutshell,
expectations.
let me just wrap it up very quickly. Let me let you finish up.
Okay, yes, I want to add something. Over the years, we waited for a president to come and speak to us regularly, to make us feel like he had us in his mind, like we had a leader who thought of us. The only time we hear from him is when he travels, and then he comes with insults and all of that. Nigerians don't want that. We want a president who will own up and talk to us like his citizens and work for us.
I think I'd like to wrap up.
Now.
So
Okay.
go ahead.
Yes, so for me, finally, is that when this outgoing president was coming, the expectation was very high on security and corruption. The incoming president, the expectation is very high on the economy. And I hope, according to the speech that he made yesterday during the conferment of his GCFR, that he understands the magnitude of the task before him and that he would not disappoint the outgoing president and he will not disappoint us. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'd like to wrap up with the fact that this current president did very, very well with the pandemic, COVID-19, compared to many other countries. And foreign policy being a big brother, especially to countries within the ECOWAS sub-region, and pillar of support to many Nigerians, like, and even the WHO.
The big brother thing, is he not giving? We have always been big brother.
Yeah, well, he was really there to support many countries. And so those are some of the things, the good things that he did. However, in my own situation, how I feel is that a lot of tangibles have been done. What the new administration coming in should focus a bit more on the intangibles because people need hope. Because it's when I have hope and I trust that you love and care for me, that the policy, not even enjoy the policy, but the road you built, I will use it with caution. I won't steal the pillars. You won't give me what they call an Anchors Borrowers program.
And I will
squander it because I believe in what you are doing. So what we read now are the intangibles, where people actually believe in Nigeria. They become patriotic. When you do that, all your policies, people would actually adhere to it. That's the missing link. And hopefully, as he goes off, that the new administration coming in will do much better. Let's bring our celebrity guest. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.